Oh.
Now that is a Saberlight classic.
Interesting. Okay. So Legion in lane should fare okay against Juggernaut. In the game, you're always going to be able to blink duel the Jug. Again, it's taken away that spin TP, which was so obnoxious in the first game. They now have 2 mechanisms to deal with it. But it still boils down to the whole the team fight presence and what are they really achieving. At least this game they have skirmish and they have the ability to make plays, but I'm seeing a large amount of lack of damage, like because they have sorry, excuse me, because they have this cookie against the clock, I'm not seeing like battery assault damage. They have a Phoenix, doesn't really do a lot, and Legion are very much a enabling offlane, not really a damage dealer. So I'm very scared about how NiP are going to approach like an early engagement.
Yeah, and also talking about like LC skill build for the lane. The last time I saw LC play up against Spectre, LC got a lot of farm in lane, but he wasn't able to harass the Spectre because he put like 0 points in overwhelming odds. It was all about press the attack, press the attack, press the attack. He just maxed out his heal, was able to stay in lane, was able to farm, had more CS than the Spectre did, but you're not really slowing down the enemy carry at that point. So now you're going up against Jug. And you can deal a nice amount of harass with the overwhelming odds, so it does really go down to the skill build that you have. Like, do you even have potential to fight in your lane, or do you decide to play it defensively? With LC, you would love to play aggressive with Phoenix or Clockwork, whoever is going to be joining this lane.
It's always hard to play aggressive when you eventually run into the rebuttal of like magic damage, that being the Snapfire and the Jug. An interesting point to look at in terms of 5-man's draft real quick is they have shown that they can run Snapfire in 3 before. So right now, they've utilized their picks to basically show NiP nothing, because this Mirana could easily be 4, Snap could be off lane, Tiny could be mid, and now they pick their 5 last, for example. Their Snap could be 5, and then now suddenly they're picking up their off laner last, So 5-man have done a pretty good job to keep their draft open. And it'll be interesting to see if they actually do utilize this flex, or if they're just going to pick up an offlaner and play out a normal game. I would expect a normal offlaner.
I do like this co-op pick though, because this instantly makes the LC a lot more viable. You have like the dual combo. You can start off with a little bit of a nuke and harass. You're dealing damage over time for a few seconds, and then co-op can just bring out this huge burst, and that gives scaling potential for the LC because you start getting those dual victories early on. Or even if you don't get dual victories, you still get kills.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the early damage, right? It's about if you have a duel, what is the follow-up, right? Like, it's all about when you try and picture a fight in your mind. Right now, for NiP, I see duel, I see Sonic Wave, hookshot, egg, that's it. After that, they're basically on the back foot waiting again for their cooldowns to come back. 5-men, on the other hand, other than Mortimer's Kisses and Omnislash, everything else is free game run at you, right? So I am seeing a disparity in aggression, but both teams have their ways to actually be aggressive and win the game, which is key, because if you start the momentum and like you're forcing the objectives, you play around catapults, for example, suddenly you take a tower and 5-men can't really ever muster that aggression because they're in catch-up mode. And that allows for the cooldowns that allow NiP to fight to not really be punished. But again, both teams actually have their ways to play out a strong game right now.
Well, our last picks are about to kick in. This time, NiP, they've got plenty of time. Last time, I think they had like 6 seconds to pick their last pick, and they were kind of in a hurry to go with that one. Now it's 5 men with only 18, but I think they've already thought about what they want to go for here. They've banned the Sven, they've banned the Troll, so very physical, heavy damage dealers out. One hero is still in the pool, and that is the Life Stealer that NiP has had good success with the Clockwork, with the Phoenix. It allows you to go for an Infest Bomb as well. Wait, is he banned? No? No, he's not banned. So I mean, I see Lifestealer working here.
For Charlie heroes right now, I see like Lifestealer, I see Terrorblade.
Oh yeah, Terrorblade is available too.
I see PL as well, maybe just for like. I'm like, the way I see NiP sign up is we need a win condition, or we pick a hero that can constantly fight with us. In terms of like, you get 2 items and go. So Lifestealer sounds really good in that sense. But if they want more a hero that can just play out a longer game, then I would maybe argue a PL-esque hero. The issue with that is they banned Bat, so normally you wouldn't think Illusion hero, but they also banned Timber, which is very good against Illusion heroes.
What about, since LC has a Heart Dispel, if they go Medusa? Alright, they go TB anyway, alright.
Yeah. Okay,
so we can scrap Medusa.
Yeah, okay, don't worry, it's fine. Never happened, don't worry. People normally mute the draft anyway, right? we could.
So-
Also, I realized, by the way, this entire draft, because I had wasabi peanuts, very nice, by the way. Before this draft, I spent the entire time like licking my lips because it's all wasabied. And they pick up an offlane underlord to now deal with the illusion of the Terrorblade. Not flexing anything all cute. This is interesting.
it's just
I
an honest pick.
Yeah, it just he's gonna do his job. Will he do it well? Maybe. Okay, so the clockwork is 5 as expected. Obviously, Phoenix is going to be the 4 because you won the Meteor Hammer. I I'm a little bit worried that there isn't enough defensive rebuttal in NiP that will buy enough space for Terrorblade. I'm going to see the same plays where, sure, 5 men might be really sloppy in laning phase, but their ability to take your mid tower, to collapse on that, to take your safe lane tower and own your jungle might overwhelm the side of NiP. They don't have a lot of reliable soft lockdown in terms of like the magic missiles, the earth spikes, the simple stuns. So it's going to be easy for 5 men to flood the jungle. And overall, when you have an Underlord into the Terrorblade lane, you don't ever really kill the Underlord, especially with a clock 5. So I think it's a big
Do
concern
you though?
for NiP.
Do you though? I
You know,
mean, you can kill the Underlord with the early Metamorph being used up, but it
sure,
does
that is
kind
true.
of allow you. I mean, it does kind of force you to have like another hero who really benefits you in that lane. And if that's going to be the clockwork with the TB, I don't know if they want to lane that way. I don't know if it's gonna be enough.
Like, I think the main thing here is, sure, it looks rough for NiP in terms of the on paper first 10 minutes or so, but your Terrorblade with items will eventually, 1v9 this game. It is a Terrorblade against a Jug. It is a Terrorblade that can buy BKB, buys Skadi, Daedalus. He like buys all the necessary items to pop everyone on 5 men. So if 5 men fall victim to doing dumb things, which they are very known to do, to be clear, I love 5 men to bits. I love all these teams to bits. But my god, 5 men can showcase some wild map positioning, and Terrorblade is a hero that can utilize those mistakes to get to his key items, and then it's impossible to break base because you go up there, you hit building, and then suddenly there's a Metamorph TB just plowing you down. So yeah, I think it's a 5 men's game to win, but Charlie Terrorblade is very scary. They banned out in the first phase last game because they respect it, and it is a hero to be respected on Charlie.
I remember back in the days, like if we go back like 1.5 years or maybe even 2 years back in time, when I remember Charlie still playing with teams who were desperately trying to break through open qualifiers, and I actually cast quite a lot of those open qualifier games. There was some discussion on Twitter about like casters' histories and stuff. Like, I'm still fairly new to the scene. Like, I've only been around for like less than 3 years, but casting all those games where you see Charlie pick Terrorblade, I was like, all right, this man knows his stuff, but does he have the team who knows how to play around him? Or is he just, like too much for the rest of the guys to play? Because you're always thinking, is it this guy or is it the rest of the guys kind of like making the whole package? So now that he's got like a decent team around him, he's got like the players that know how to play around Charlie, and Charlie knows how to play around them, because you can see NiP sometimes go for these aggressive drafts where you see like Charlie picks Ursa and then you have like IO Ursa and they will run at you.
Oh, that was a nice one. Actually, I saw that earlier today. That was pretty clean.
Yeah, so like you can do those things, and you're kind of falling for the trap that NiP is not actually playing for late game. They're playing this right now.
Oh, interesting, actually. Because of the Phoenix position 4 and Ace being a Juggernaut, they don't really respect the early pressure. So they're actually starting with potentially a tri-lane to try and kill the TB at least once. Okay,
yeah, they realize there's no kill, so just seeking to save Ace, because Ace is struggling.
That's really good communication on NiP, identifying the fact that Snap isn't bot. So Charlie never went to try and get any early CS. Like, he waited basically to see the Snap fire. Yeah, overall,
good communication, and it does actually come for a small bit of a cost, like for 5 men, because their Juggernaut was getting a lot of harass being alone in that lane, and Charlie was just playing it defensive, so you're getting a tiny bit of farm for your Underlord, but you're also like, your carry is struggling right now. And I can see Saberlight actually leveling up overwhelming odds this time, so no press the attack spam, at least for now. So at least that one value point for harass, that's good to have.
Sorry, I was distracted by the overlay. Do you know, during the draft, I was trying to see, like, you actually can't see one of the first bans. but you can because it's literally the last ban. I'm just being silly. All right. Anyway, back to this more important thing.
Yeah, you can only blame me for that UI because I
That's
might
fine.
have
You know
had a
what
bit of
I'm gonna do?
trouble.
I'm just gonna close the tab. We're all good. Nice.
I mean, nobody watches the draft anyway, right?
No, exactly. It's muted. Let's be real. Yeah, a lot of pressure coming onto Ace, like you just mentioned, but I'll repeat it just again to really cement the fact. Terrorblade not actually getting a lot of CS in the top. This is the issue of a Terrorblade with a clock position 5. You don't really do anything.
Exactly, and he's
we got a pause.
not getting the chance to even use that Metamorph level 1. Like Misha hasn't even leveled up Cogs, so knowing that Mirana's probably gonna escape from it. And what do we really do with Underlord inside the Cogs? He'll just break his way through right away. Instead, he's got Flare. I don't know exactly why he's got Flare level 1. Is this the... Do you find the explanation for this, why he's got Flare level this early?
Alright, so pretty much two ways of looking at it. You get Flare, you can secure range creeps that your TB can never get to.
You can break salves, you can break clarities, and but that's all I can see it for. Like, is it good enough as a trading tool?
That's a lot of value. I think, if anything, the argument right now should be he has Battery Assault against Underlord Mirana. Mirana has leaps. Underlord doesn't really care because he's always in the creep wave. So right now, I'd actually rather see Misha with 1 point Cog, 1 point Flare, take away the mana, take away the range creeps. Suddenly you're finding value in this clockwork, because this Battery Assault level is pretty much redundant.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because, you know, the Rocket Flare mana cost is very low, so obviously you can spam it quite a lot, and it does provide you with a tiny bit of damage. That can be very useful for throwing a Flare into the mid lane, for example. You see, like, Tiny dropping low, and he's about to pop a salve, so you're just going to throw the Flare already in.
They're the best, aren't they? Oh, yeah. They're the premium flares.
Well, we'll see what he decides to do here.
See, look,
yeah, exactly. All right.
He did it!
Instant value. You don't need me here. I'm just gonna shut up. I'm not needed here anymore. Misha is just proving me completely wrong here. But yeah, that's instant worth right there.
We actually had an entire pause time to get over that. Don't worry.
Yes, we did. That was such a useful topic, right?
Yeah. Fucking 10 out of 10, mate. I can't remember if you can swear on BTS stream, so
but I'm hoping that we actually see like self-breaking flares, because then it just becomes so good. Xibis dropping low on HP. Charlie finding first blood with the Metamorph. Misery even using that arrow, but not gonna be any good use of that though. And
yeah, that was a really good play from.
And look, he's bought a Ring of Tarask right away for that HP regen on TB. So good. You never see anybody get that early. Like, only some specific heroes might get it, and it actually was a theme that everybody just bought Ring of Tarask. But for TB,
God, they were so bad.
But for TB, that is like such smart thinking from Charlie.
All right, so now look at this top lane. So really good, Charlie got this kill, but he's now pretty much on cooldown again for 110 seconds, and this is where in that time Underlord will get to level 4, maybe maybe even barely 5. Which is an insane window, because that's going to be like 2 to 3 points in Firestorm, which really simplifies the next engagement for the side of 5 men. So overall, very good kill, but does it really change the tempo, the story of the lane?
Well, Saberlight, really. Do they have spin? Yes, they do. Saberlight trying to run away from the spin and does get enough distance.
He do be a speedy boy.
While they're going on Supreme as they're contesting these runes, and Supreme with
Misery!
What a blink! How'd he got it? He's still got that regen up. There's the flare coming in onto Chessie. Starstorm. Oh, blink.
Oh, yes.
And here comes Era. Era for the rescue. Chessie will burn alive.
Oh, yes. What
Misery
beautiful.
denies. He denies all the joy from Era.
You just love to see it. Like, it started with Misery just having old man fingers and not clicking the regen. And then it turned into a good play. But... What a turn of events! Really,
this is starting to turn into the most. This is starting to turn into the most one of the entertaining first 5 minutes I've ever seen in a game, because of all of these small smart plays that are going on. There's been like 2 or 3, but it's already more interesting than most of the games that have been going on inside the first 5 minutes.
I didn't think I could be working with a toxic play-by-play before, but you're trying to carve yourself into the scene. Jokes aside, this game's actually it's spicing up. It's so important, right? 5 men up a bracket, lower bracket. Basically, NiP have nothing to play for, I don't think now, other than placement in upper bracket. But yes, it's 5men's game to win. And they're dying, so they're not winning.
Yeah, I mean, both teams still have the stakes up and running, and now Misha trying to intercept. There's the battery assault, but only wish you had cogs, because Charlie could then dish out some more right clicks. It just walks away the pain.
Okay, so the interesting thing now, will Snapfire come top to protect this tower, to punish the TV with meta, and to maybe pressure this tower? Or will he just return bottom? Okay,
just returns bottom.
That's fair. Oh, Zibe, buddy. You're in a dangerous position. Said no one, because he's not really dying.
Yep. Not really.
What is he doing?
Well, taking a decent amount of punishment. Misha, is he going to be able to chase him down? Battery assault still halfway, and Underlord is outrunning him right now. Finally gets the connections on it. There's the flare for the vision, and needs 1, 2. Yep, there's the right click, and that should be new. But Charlie all this time was also in the chase, so he missed a few CS.
Yeah, it was a little bit weird from Zibe. Rather than running back to his Miranda, who could always tank a battery assault or two and then leap, he opted to go for the jukey wookies in the trees and killed himself. Unfortunate, but alas.
Jesse's coming in for a rotation towards bottom, and do they know about this?
They do. They actually had a ward to the left-hand side above the outpost.
Oh yeah, they have the high ground ward, so yeah, they saw Chessie. I was just looking at the ward in mid, and now Quap is coming in as well. They want to take a full-on fight here, and now damage onto Ace. They will take down Era. Ace is still up. There's the Sonic Wave, and Supreme will find one. Chessie trying to TP out and should be able to know the duel comes out. Saberlight just hit level 6. One creep died in the wave, and he hit level 6 by the looks of it. Or then he was just saving it there for the last second.
That was a really weird rotation
I didn't see like the level up animation, so I'm not sure. He might have just had level 6 already when that fight broke loose.
He was already level 6, but I believe he got bottled up to have mana for duel, because he didn't have it initially, and then he just got enough to use it.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, but realistically, I think the more important thing is why Tiny rotated bottom without any active rune, just kind of wandered bottom, allowed for the high Valak Quap as a hero thrives on aggression inside lane, TP ult, back to mid.
Saberlight getting spun. Era, he's here. Snapfire dropping low. Icarus dive is available. We'll go for it, and it connects. So that's a dead snap.
Yeah, see it, buddy. This is looking a little bit more rough for 5men in laning phase. But I think, realistically, I think they don't care still, because they know they're aligning to a much stronger mid-game timing, that as long as they don't, like, feed away kills and lose towers, I think they're fine. But it's still very much like NiP are doing a lot better in laning phase and in the game generally compared to game 1.
Yep, Charlie's level 6. He's survived this lane, so to say. And he can start ramping up that farm, but he's gonna have to sit in the jungle, and I think 5men also know about this, that they will start applying pressure towards the NiP side of the map.
So they're actually letting Mirana free farm top, because naturally what Terrorblades do, they want to gravitate towards the jungle after the early portion of laning phase, moving into that kind of 10-minute mark. So they realize that on 5men. They put the Underlord to jungle, and they just let Mirana free farm. He's going to go for MKB again on Mirana, allowing him to be really obnoxious in the early fights, and also just an insane egg killer.
Yeah, this is
it'll be interesting.
A Misery applying the same item build on the Wind Ranger and the Mirana. It doesn't matter. It's a range hero with a bow.
Too, by the way.
You see a hero with a bow, and you just go for brown boots and MKB. Well, seems to work. Granny's only got a bracer picked up, so that's interesting on Pylai Die. This time, no 8 sentries lined up.
Yeah, he too's in the same position. He's just trying to soak up some XP, and it will be interesting to see when 5men actually want to gravitate towards objective taking. That be the tier 1 towers, own the jungle, because I think after their laning phase, they're doubting their ability to at least pressure towers. So they are just going to hit back, hit the jungle, and just kind of wait for a little bit, which is uncharacteristic of the classic 5men lineup.
While diving onto Pylai Die, he is really suffering. Saberlight looking for the duel, and that's going to be a duel victory. Skadam, 20 duel damage picked up inside the first 10 minutes, so that's more than most LCs getting 20 minutes, so that's good. Onto a start. Meanwhile, coming onto the back, Misery walking into Charlie. Charlie will spot him. Now they're just going to chase Sibe down. No taxi service available. Arrow will attach onto the clockwork, but that is Sibe down. 8-2 for NiP. Triple net worth lead. Bounties are spawning though, so that might still be put off the balance a little bit. Jesse got a DD rune. Is he gonna bait? No, pops the DD.
Nope. Oh.
Thinking about a little bait if Supreme would have actually blinked in because Mirana was nearby. So if he got the toss avalanche into the arrow, that would have been something.
Still just trying to find what they're trying to achieve on the map though. Like, Ace is actually just farming pretty well, but I think the counter argument is your Terrorblade's still farming at the same rate, and comparing the two, Terrorblade naturally just fares better. So it is I think a worrying position for 5 men. But Misery doesn't actually care. He's probably only comms. He's like, yeah, the game's fine, just with he's hitting creeps.
Yeah, just do your thing. We'll see you in a bit.
Don't worry, guys. I'll eventually maybe carry this game with my Mirana. Free farm stop for 20 more minutes. Oh, they're TPing bottom. So this is a natural adjustment when you have an Underlord. You want to put him in the tower where they want to take. So he's already bottom, pushing out the lane. It's just if they bring an overwhelming amount of numbers on NiP, they can out the Underlord. But a really nice move from him, eating this bottom tree, running to the left, so that he's already predicting the dive. So that's a really good heads-up play from the Underlord.
And while they're pressuring mid, they're doing damage onto this tower. Pyjamas and Chessie both doing a bit of siege damage, forcing all those rotations back towards this lane. And Saberlight wants to go for the duel, but he gets tossed away by Chessie. Still gets the chance to go on the Snapfire, and they're going to hookshot Tiny, and they're going to get the kill on the Snapfire. And that's 30 duel damage now.
Yeah, Saberlight's got 30 damage, mainly because of literally the granny. So cool. That's scary if you're against this.
Well, TB gets a tower in bottom, so NiP really rocking the stage right now.
Yeah, this is the kind of opposite to what we saw in the first game. Like 5 men the ones actually taking
weren't
towers.
We kind of hoping and waiting for this to happen too? That they adjust their draft, their gameplay is seeming a little bit different. They're doing good for a late game lineup.
No, yeah, exactly that. It's the pressure from the Quap, able the Tiny, and the maneuver, just the early value of killing the Snapfire. That's pretty much it.
Orchid gonna be soon up for Queen of Pain, so we're gonna see Supreme do some big plays, likely. Charlie
Supreme
farming
buys
it up.
Orchid, Misery buys MKB. They just buy the same item every game. Interesting. Analysis.
Well, if it's not broken, then why try to fix it?
Well, technically it might be broken for NiP, so maybe we'll see this Orchid actually have some shortcomings.
Maybe Misha's baiting a hook shot here. Yep, he's really waving that wand or mace, whatever that is.
Oh, what an avalanche actually. That's nice.
What is that thing on Misha's hand?
Oh, the granny,
but
no!
It's gonna catch Pylight Eye, however. They've got the duel up and it's gonna run out, but another duel victory for Saberlight. And yep, talked about that early game nuke damage. They have it.
Yeah, this is there's like, it's just, I say it in the last game, 5 men really like to pressure these towers like alone. They like to force out reactions without the numbers. But the point in this game is you're not really not many heroes are coming to the engagement. It's a Clock, Legion, and Quap. Meanwhile, Terrorblade farms jungle and Phoenix farms top. Like, I don't think this is actually advantageous for 5 men to continue this playstyle. They need to actually bring true numbers to an objective and actually try and take a real fight.
Good. Jug situation, still building on a Yasha. Should have the money up in just a tiny bit. That's gonna help Ace a little bit, but already really falling behind this TB this early. You usually like keep up with the TB pretty well, and TB will eventually just farm faster than you do. CB will be found, and Misha's just bullying this Underlord a little bit. 3 levels difference.
Oh, the blink
doing
reveal.
a decent amount of damage here. Supreme is actually going to go down to Pylight Die, as Chessie is there to help out. The Mortimer's Kisses have been used up as well, while Ace turns the favor for Xibe and saves his ass.
Top lane,
he's trying to run away from the anime runner. Like
that was actually very spooky with the Arcana and
yeah, I got those big swords approaching. I'm like, oh
no, not again. Not
Charlie's been spotted very aggressive farming here. Metamorph popped up, Snapfire cliffs himself, and boom, there you go.
Oh, it doesn't even get the D award. All right, lads, maybe you shouldn't all die trying to.
Jesse finds Misha. Misha's out of the way though, so a trade kill will happen.
Okay. Yeah, so there's still net lead to NiP, I think, overall. Your Terrorblade is loving life, about to complete Manta in about 500 gold. And it's looking really good for them. They can cover him really well in these next engagements because 5 men basically play off of Avalanche, Toss into Multiplicacy. And without that, I think they do lack a little bit of something, because their Underlord, he's not really got much right now, but in time.
Yeah, are they missing the oomph?
They are heavily missing oomph right now, for sure. The oomph factor for 5 men is like a 2 oomphs out of oomph. And NiP, they're like oomph out oomph, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot more oomph on the side
This is
of
the
them.
best analysis I've ever heard. Oh man.
Just ask me again in like 10 minutes and then we might get a different oomph, but yeah, for now it's yeah, a lot of oomph. Misery finally actually might even chip down this top tower with the catapult.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
He's going for the last hit.
Wait for
One
it.
more catapult hit. Hold.
Oh,
Hold.
Supreme is coming. Deny.
Oh,
denied.
You had one job, Misery.
You had one job. Could have leaped in
Whatever.
for that and then leaped out. There's no Orchid on the Queen of Pain yet.
Yeah. Oh well.
And mid tower is also being sieged up by the catapult. 180 HP, 120. 2 hits from the catapult. We'll get one. Glyph.
Oh yeah, the denying 2 towers. It's actually so devastating for 5 men. Tower gold is so much value, and the fact that they get 2 denies on the side of it, they're gonna be buzzing. Soon to be 2 denies. They'll probably keep it alive now just for the TP value, but realistically there will be a deny coming in shortly.
Yep, their 5 men are not really going to pressure that either. They're just realizing the situation, assessing the situation, so to say, as well.
I think if you quickly click on all the heroes on 5 men, Misery, MKB, Juggernaut, Manta, Tiny, Echo Saber, Underlord, Atos, like they're all buying that one item to yeah, woo! Sorry, sorry. Respect to supports, Snapfire, Bear, and the Bracer. But like, you see how they're clearly trying to just get that one item each, and then you're gonna see a big play from them. Until then, NiP have free game to do whatever they want. As you can see, moving mid, will 5 men defend this? Potentially. It will be shaky though.
Might be. I mean, Jesse's already giving the info. The MLS is out. He's got a DD blink on this Tiny, so that might be something to work around. But how do they follow up on this?
Look at Charlie.
T-Pa's coming in. Charlie will get caught by the root. There's the Mortimer's Kisses, and Jesse walking in, looking for
silence!
The silence coming in from Supreme, and a hook shot, and Tiny's gonna go out for the count. Now Supreme just jumping in. That Sonic Wave doesn't really connect onto Misery, but it does do a decent amount of damage also to Poison. The dagger will actually hit and slow down the Mirana. Now the LC still has duel, has Blade Bell available, and Supreme finds the kill and might just go down herself. Really big trouble. The Omni Slash connects from Ace, and Misha is behind enemy lines right now. Pilot Axibia right next to the Juggernaut. Misha trying to make his way out, going for the TP, gets rooted. Saberlight coming in, trying to walk onto Ace and trying to get that Blade Mail duel. He will get it, but it's on the high ground. It's a really risky spot. Can he get this one to go all the way? He will. And another duel victory. 60 damage for the LC now. Saberlight not giving a damn about the enemy high ground. Just goes there, finds the kill, and walks it off.
Yeah, NiP just outplaying left, right, and center in that fight. Up to the point where Chessie maybe killed.
He might find a return kill. Really wants to get something done here. Saberlight throws in a heal. Another root coming in. Chessie. Blade Mail is popped, and Saberlight finally goes down. Misha might even follow suit as Chessie's got a Blink Dagger available. Goes for the Avalanche on Clockwork. Goes for the toss as well. He's being burnt up. The egg on the high ground, and the turnaround is coming in. And Supreme will take down Misery. Chasing down Chessie, and Chessie might just go down. He will dodge the stun from the Phoenix Egg, and still being scouted. Supreme coming into the right and finding Chessie here in the trees, and Supreme picks up a double kill. But at least they get the Underlord to teleport home, so that's not another casualty. But NiP, that's a lot of kills that they just got there.
That was honestly pretty nasty to watch. Like, they outplayed them with the Orchid, then dove them with the Legion Jaw and the Blade Mail.
That Orchid
really
play,
pushing their heroes to the limit. And then 5 men, the counter argument was, well, we have to chase them. We need to get something from this. If we just let them leave, then we're going to be so underfarmed. And they chase, and guess what? They got heroes respawn, surprisingly. And yeah, 5 men not really finding their footing in the game right now. It's a very difficult position. Ace going for the Manta and in the Battle Fury again. So we're not going to really see him with any big explosive timing like we did in that first game.
Yeah, talking about the high stakes game as well for 5 men, if they can still corral themselves together. Get this series.
Can we get a quick update on the Misery MKB real quick, please? That's going to be around about 700 gold away from the long anticipated MKB.
Very, very close. Getting to it.
Oh, NiP also smoked on the top bounty route.
Well, if I Chessie is the first target, the Arcane will be picked up by Supreme, but they didn't see who it was, so they didn't go for it. However, Juggernaut has been found, and Supreme throws in the hate. Misha will actually hookshot onto his friend. The Queen of Pain will have a nasty scratch on her leg after that one. Chessie, there's the silence, but it's a bit too late because Chessie finds a kill on Era, and Chessie gets cookied away. Pyjamas misses the shotgun. The Scatterblast doesn't quite hit. Supreme still getting the souls on Tiny. Another toss coming in, but can they have the damage for it? Another combo coming out. Sibe in the middle of all of them, getting silenced up, and Pyjamas trying to help his friend, and LC just really wants to get those right clicks in outside of the cogs. But it does end up being a 2-for-2 trade, if I look that correct.
Alright, quickly Panda, can I quickly get an update on the MKB, quickly, please?
The MKB, yeah, 200 gold away, I think. Yeah.
No, nice. Okay. Yeah, so that was an interesting engagement. Again, value of smoke, being able to cut into enemy lines. This Legion against Juggernaut is insane value. He spins, you jaw him, you laugh at him. And this Quap, I think Supreme, having a standout game, really good rotations, and always being just in the fight and just playing at the limit. Soon gonna have BKB, exact same itemization as the Furion, but this time he has ways to always have presence in these early fights. So very good to see Supreme having a good game after that first one.
Misha's got some interesting stuff lined up. Looks like he's got a... Is that a Glimmer Cape with a Ghost Scepter?
Yes, that is Ghost Scepter and then Glimmer Cape. He might go for the Ghost first, just so he can at least jump in and be a bit more annoying, but yeah, I'd actually rather see the Glimmer first.
The Glimmer could be great.
The value. You can break the Omni Slash, the early damage from Mortimer Kisses against the Juggernaut. It's a lot more of a team item.
And also can soak up quite a lot of damage from that combo that Chessie keeps on denying here. And Supreme, he might just live this one. No, he doesn't. Chessie's down as well. Charlie will find that. Era actually picks up the kill for that one.
Mid for mid, and...
More maybe Charlie with a haste rune. This TB's not scared to go into the fight. He's lost half his HP. The Omni Slash. Oh, he's got no target. He gets the disjoint. And there's the Sun. No, he doesn't get the Thunder. He's going to get spinned. And he has to go for Saberlight to save his own hide. And Saberlight looking for the duel. Can't quite get to Ace. He ends up hitting the illusions instead. Sibe and Pyjamas still in the MLS right next to Charlie. Going for another entry inside. Another route will combine. And the Pit of Malice is still on top. Pyjamas. Do they have the arrow? Misery's already used it. They don't have the arrow to throw in.
This could actually be a really good fight. Tiny spawning in 7 seconds. If I was 5 men right now, I'd be looking maybe to smoke up with the Tiny and just go for a crucial pickoff.
Yep, there's the MKB on Misery, so it's ready. It's been ready for maybe a minute, so probably had it for this team fight. Didn't really get to see Mirana do a lot of action there.
But this is a concern for NiP in the idea that their TB is not unkillable. He can die, and it was very close. That was a very, very close moment, which could have decided the fate. There's the smoke. They're going for the play.
Oh.
Will it work, though? I don't know.
See if it works. On the high ground, there's Charlie, and the smoke breaks and Misery. That's the target they wanted to look for, and the combo will go out. He's got a Manta available, but he's going to get stunned up, and he's not getting anywhere. Charlie is down, and he is gone. Misery getting burnt up, but he's still alive. Saberlight still trying to keep up the chase. There's the hook shot, and Chessie blocks it.
Oh, what a player, actually. Chessie, what a god.
He even tosses the clockwork to the rest of their team. Sibe can't get the cookie down to the low ground, and there's the duel, and make it duel damage 100 for the LC.
Props to Chessie for saving his carry Mirana.
Yep, that hook shot would have been lethal.
It would have really dismantled the escape in 5 minutes. A lot more would have probably died. Jokes aside.
Arrow. Oh, close one.
Just an 8k gold lead to NiP at this point in the game is actually crazy.
Yeah, it's just been steadily sliding down towards the Dire's favor. XP is also at 7.5k. And Jog is building a Battle Fury? Alright, so this is a Manta into Battle Fury build again.
Yep. Like we saw from the first game.
We've
already seen how the Manta has been really good at dodging out the duels, because when Legion blinks in. If he casts Dual and you Manta, then it resets the Dual animation, so you have to go again. So we've seen a couple of times Ace actually survive because of that, but it's still the fact that he doesn't really have early damage, and this TB, he has Manta, he has Skadi. He doesn't give a hoots about this jug at this point. It's very, very scary.
And MLS has been scouted by Supreme's Illusion. So they see exactly what was about to happen. They've checked that they're not inside Roche. Jesse scouting ahead. Another flare flying out towards the lane. Xebe finding Supreme, but there's a sentry underground, so they see him. But they went straight for... They went for Roche. 5-minute Roche pit. They don't know about it. They were just next to him, and they thought that they're going for a play. The flare's not even going in the pit. They might just snatch this Aegis. And
this
they
is
don't
like
know
Khan
a single
2.0.
thing. Dude, this is such a smart play, because it's actually paying off.
Oh, this is actually a delight to watch.
That's that is. Oh, now the rocket flare comes in, but they've already done the damage. The Aegis picked up. Ace takes it.
The deed has been done.
That was such a con Roshan, and now it's done by 5 men.
Oh, sorry. When you said Khan, I thought you said calm, and I was like, oh, smart.
Oh.
Wordplay.
What a play, what a play. It does buy them a bit of extra time, like an important fight as well that they might take. Yeah.
That is the key thing. So basically, when you're ahead, the game plan is like, take away towers, sweep across jungle, go Roshan, go for high ground. When you take away the Aegis, it's like, well, how do we go high ground?
A piece.
Exactly, and like, when you're against Snapfire and Tiny, high ground isn't that simple because there's this burst potential. And Underlord as well, he can naturally defend really easily. So 5 men, utilizing the Aegis steal, it gives them so much time to buy the Battle Fury on Jug to get to that +1 item, and it could honestly be one of those like comeback plays that can, you know, really keep them in this game. Because I was very concerned if Aegis would have gone to NiP.
See if they're getting some time to farm up. Yeah.
Oh my god, Supreme!
Alright.
Oh,
Misery
just
Arrow.
got obliterated! Did you see that from the start?
Did they cookie into a Mirana Arrow?
It was literally a cookie into a point-blank arrow into Omnislash, in which the Quap got crit to smithereens. Alright, fair play. That was pretty cool. Okay, so have you looked at Snapfire itemization yet, my good sir?
Albert for Phoenix. What else do we see from NiP?
Snapfire, look at Snapfire.
Ags. Oh.
There we go.
But Snap's gonna die here though, so we're gonna witness.
He bought out luckily, so
we're gonna witness even more dual damage going in for LC. So that's 30 dual damage picked up from that one. 130 in total. Well, there's a chase going on in mid, Jesse. Rocket flare into the high ground. Nobody there.
Chon is trying to really make his mark in the game because he technically is unkillable as long as he doesn't get like Mortimer Kiss plus a spinning jug so he can't sunder anything, etc, etc. So
yeah.
Like, it's still a pretty decent game, but I think Snapfire, as I kind of whispered it to you a second ago, him going for the Ags, it allows for you to pretty much throw in a hero with an insane stun. It is actually bonkers, this item. I don't know if you've seen it in any games yet, but it is really, really strong. It simplifies your initiation. And when you have a hero that you have to jump, especially when Sed's TB is not buying a BKB or any status resistance yet, he's going for Satanic, it does allow for you to really blow up a hero.
Yeah, like TB would love to have a BKB this game, but you have to. You go for a hard, like, you have plenty of time and maneuverability. You're even working as a magnet for some abilities, allowing maybe the LC and the Quap to make some plays. Because if you're BKB
oh, the arrow, Supreme, topside!
Oh no, not again. That's the second time of the MKB just doing damage from Misery. Oh, he gets the BKB off, and Supreme will blink to safety. And a duel at the same time. Oh my. Alright, LC, just show off more about that damage. 160 right now picked up. LC hits for 330 right-click damage.
Oh, that is disgusting.
That is disgusting.
You don't really see Legions with this much damage normally, right? It's normally like 50, 60. But having 160, it hurts to say because it is just that good. And Supreme using his first BKB defensively.
Oh, what a play right there. He got Jesse. Silenced up. Even Meteor Hammered. Supreme saving that ulti. No need to Sonic Wave this time. Misery picks up a courier. He's been doing this all along. and Ace will TP away as well. That Aegis is going to run out in 50 seconds.
Yeah, they haven't actually been able to capitalize on the Aegis, but that is the issue when you sneak it and you don't really have a presence in the game because you are behind. It is very much a, we stole the Aegis, we're not going to make a play with it. So it expiring, it's still perfectly fine.
It is. And Charlie's really enforcing here in the four-man jungle. Forcing Snap on the run. Meanwhile, a duel coming in out of nowhere, and it's going to be Ace caught inside of Sunrays there as well. And
that's the Aegis though.
That's the Aegis gone. He's going to be around 2. Can they go up again? Ace trying to make a run for it, trying to get out of there. Supreme, they do have the spin, the silence, the slows on Misery. They do catch Supreme. He's got BKB.
Arrow late.
Arrow, yeah, forced to use. That would have been
that's the
a dead
second
Supreme.
BKB from Supreme though. That is now heavily defensive.
Yeah, just defensive.
So yeah, overall, it's like, I think if NiP can kind of choke out the game and hold an aggressive position and just allow TB to just stupidly free farm just a little bit more to get like one extra item, then it's so hard for 5men to get kills. Because if you look at Jug's items as well, he's going for an axe. It's not like he's going to go for some explosive damage item right now. He's still like 2 items away.
Now let's see, Charlie. Oh, he doesn't actually.
He's
see
so aggressively
he doesn't see Ace at all. They have no invis detection, and there comes the dust, and it actually hits on Xibe and Ace. They're barely catching that one off. Looking really scary for a second. Chessie and Misery have been spotted. One out. Misery still. Oh.
Just sleeping around, mate, you know. Just like,
Misha looking for the angle. Misha's really looking for the angle for the hook shot because he sees 2 guys right on top of each other. No, not
Jug
yet.
in the bot lane! He's just dying to the Legion by himself!
Oh no, not a... That's the second time he's done that. Last time he had the Sun Raider help him out. This time it's just a pure solo kill for Saberlight.
He's a level 21 Legion against Juggernaut. He has got the easiest game plan. This is a beautiful performance from Saberlight, honestly.
This is like, he's really living it right now. Such a Saberlight classic LC hero, and just doing it right now. The arrow does hit on an illusion. Charlie heads to the high ground. Misery taking heavy hits here, very low on HP. The Orchid is out there. Well, Supreme will drop the Sonic Wave, and he will hit onto Jesse, trying to make a run for it out. And they have the Pit of Malice in between. Misha taking a bit of damage. There's some Mortimer's Kisses coming in as well. Misha will get hit by a few of them and will burn alive. So they will get one, but that buyback does come out from the Mirana Misery in the front. They've got the arrow on Charlie. Charlie low on HP right now. Supreme. As the egg explodes, the duel coming out, and Misery out of the way. And Chessie looking for
Charlie's dead!
He takes down Charlie, actually. And there's a chance here. There's a chance for 5men to drive Saberlight out of the base, forcing the LC to go. Arrow on the dive will get rooted up, and Xibe and Chessie will quickly close up the gap, and the blink is ready. Meteor Hammer on the spot, and literally just reveals his hideout. But they are going to go for Supreme and try and chase him up. Chessie, 7 seconds for a blink. Arrow gets out, Supreme gets out, and Saberlight gets out.
That was the greediness on 5men there, trying to go for the quad kill rather than securing that Phoenix. A big issue. And the entire time, Ace did not buy back because he was like, if I buy back, guys, the game is over because I have no item and TB will win on the next siege. So Mirana actually had to buy back there. A good hold from 5men. Does it change the game? Potentially, no. I think Charlie, he's still like a satanic away from winning the game. If he just buys this item, if he gets this item.
As long as Jug doesn't just get solo dueled by the LC, that has completely gone out of hand.
Oh,
so
that's a really good point, actually, yeah. That's also another
because
factor.
that really did change a lot. He got picked off by a solo LC in the bot lane, allowing NiP to make all these plays. Now Chessie's getting caught in mid. Meteor Hammer connecting on the Tiny. They even get Cox. The duel comes out. The Cookie moves him only a bit further to safety, and there's a hook shot connecting on the back onto Snapfire, while Xibe is being driven away. No Tiny for 60 seconds. Really rough situation for 5men to fight in this, as they will lose another member of their team. Pyjamas, he's just trying to draw an IP away as far as possible. Oh, Spiral Ace just run out, but Supreme comes in. A little bit of space bot.
Alright, so normally when you play Legion, you're always about your team, right? To get the kills. You're the stun, where's my damage? But in this game, the way that he's fed off the granny early on, pivoted into early blade mount, jumping in the Legion, the Jug, it's such a great game. He can literally kill anyone when he wants, how he wants. where he wants.
That was a beautiful attempt from Era. They're trying to land the... He got the Yules while diving into the Meteor Hammer. Like, you only just usually see the dive on the Meteor Hammer, but add the Yules into the mix as well. That was a good attempt. But...
Alright, didn't I say that NiP were going to show up in game 2 just to take away the hopes of 5 men?
Give them a little bit of game 1. And I was also kind of hoping for it, because this really spices things up as well. 5 men, they're not completely out, but it's not looking too good as well. And there's another duel. 310 damage now for LC Saberlight, the absolute MVP looking like right now. And they're going for the mega creeps. They've already taken the melee racks from mid and top, and now the Omni Slash, the last fight, possibly jumping in. They've got the egg, but that egg is zoning them away. They can't go. They can't go. They can't chase.
That Omni Slash just sums up the game, right?
Barely hit anything, and then there's the egg. We're like, all right, can't get to him.
Oh, we can't really run past it. Okay.
LC preparing for another duel. 15 seconds.
Who do you think he's gonna kill this time? I vote Granny again.
I think Granny's the target. Unless Chessie does something first, and he does a lot of damage on Supreme. And now Charlie just turns around. He takes down Xibe. 5 seconds for the Maram to be up. Chessie out for the count as well. And there's no buybacks remaining. Another one. Triple kill for Charlie, where Sonic Wave coming in from Supreme. And they are drowning 5 men's hopes of the upper bracket. GG, NiP tie up this series, meaning that NiP will continue to be in the top 4, and 5 men. They will have to find speed from the lower bracket.
I'll give it to NiP. This game was beautiful to watch. I think I was worried a little bit, but the way that they played lanes and just generally punished through Supreme, especially, and then eventually the lanes collapsing, and the way that 5 men set up their lanes post-laning phase, it just allowed this Legion to like relentlessly duel this Snapfire, and that gave him such a free game that when he was getting his initial duels off, it wasn't like a duel with no damage. It was a duel with like 40 damage, I think, at the start of it.
Yeah.
Which just accelerated Saberlight's game, and then he eventually had like 200 plus. So I think overall NiP just had a really good understanding of how to use Quap into that forward plays, and 5 men they never pressured a tower. If they did, they were by 2. They didn't really have any heroes that could fight. Like, they didn't have a Bloodseeker, you know?
And all those tower pressures they did, they were just towers denied from them. They couldn't even get those either.
Oh, yeah, that's so true.
Top tower denied, mid tower denied. It's like, well, not even the tiniest bit of gold going in our way. And this draft, like, in a sense, like, for 5 men, it worked in game 1. A tiny bit of changes here and there. They couldn't really get the Snapfire to work, which I was I was hoping more to happen, but you know, it just left me longing for more.
Well, it's that hero that on paper it should do well. Against Egg, you have Lil Shredder early on. Against the TB, you have Mortimer Kiss with the Tiny or the Arrow. But like, when you fed so many times, and also you're going for an Aghanims, which is a very greedy item. It's an item that you buy due to your aggression of taking towers, and it gives you that gold. Because you never took towers, you never really get to that quick item. And 5 men, they're a team that they like to play off of 1 or 2 items and try and just fight.
Yeah.
And it's built around early towers and early Roshan. But they never really got either. They got 1 Roshan, but they never really got like the small gold leads to utilize their draft. And NiP just played a flawless game in just owning out the map. And yeah, I think overall NiP just outclassed 5 men. Like 5 men outclassed NiP. Like these two teams actually so close. Like game 1 was 5 men the entire time. This game was NiP the entire time. So it's crazy to think that if this was a best of 3, like that 3rd game would actually be insanely close, I think.
Yeah, all right, well, we're gonna jump onto the camera scene there for a tiny second here, as T-Panda and with TeaGuvnor, we're here the finishing words, because we're closing off the group stages here. We've completed our, if I remember calculating correct, 72 maps of Dota have been finished in the group stages, and our playoffs will start on the 27th, which is on this Sunday. You want to write that down. It's going to be 3 days of a hectic action. Well, actually 4 days to be accurate, since we're going to be finishing all the way grand finals on the 30th of September. But for today, overall, I think we had some really exciting games. Got to cast some good games with Kips and also with you, TeaGuvnor. Really enjoyed this. Was like first time casting with you as well. And I think felt really fun as well. Like the games were fun, and I think we had
good Dota, man. Yeah,
it was good Dota.
Yeah, you can't fault the how you word it, the surprises that you get, right? So the Khan series, very back and forth, didn't really know what's happening, and then Khan were like, "Whoa, we're turning up." And in this series, it was just a demonstration of how two teams, if they understand their strategy, can just demolish their opponent. And you kind of wish for more, right? Like I feel like this series it needed the third game. Without the third game, I feel a little bit empty because it's like, well, they both teams want to prove to their opponent that they're better, right? And they can actually win. Because so far, five men beat this team 2-1. They then draw 1-1. Like they're so close. But hopefully they meet again in the playoffs. And also
Yeah,
it's great
I,
for
I
casting.
really hope to see, like, because this could actually build into a really good rivalry between these two
Mm,
teams. Like, five men definitely having a good show, but NiP definitely showing what they're made of, because they need to get those consistent wins going on and get like recognition from here and there to have like that continuation from not only from this tournament but overall. Like, their performance has been a bit inconsistent here and there. So if we see NiP and five men face off against each other again in the playoffs, it's definitely going to be one of the hypest series that we're going to have.
yeah, exactly that. I couldn't word it any better. And I completely forgot that Chessie and Era, of course, played on I think TFT together. So there is technically
Mm.
already like friendly banter between the two, right? So
Yeah, like there should be. But anyway,
yeah, nice.
from my behalf, thank you so much to all the viewers. Thank you to Monster Energy for sponsoring this tournament, and also BTS for hosting and allowing us to have this awesome tournament going on. The group stages are over. TeaGuvnor, you got any last words, any shout outs you want to throw out before we close the show?
You probably don't have to hear me cast again, lads, because I don't really cast. So I'm
We'll
sorry you had
see.
to put up
We'll
with me
see
today.
we'll see if we do
Maybe
something about
this
that.
could
Maybe.
be. Woo! No, no, but yeah, thanks. It's been good. Thanks for watching this tier of Dota, lads. Because you know, tier one, boo. Tier two, tier three plus. Woo! There we go. Final words.
Exactly. Like, we have a good mixture of all kinds of teams. But thank you so much. We're going to
Exactly.
close the show. We're going to see you on Sunday, so don't miss that day of exciting Dota hitting in the playoffs. Until then, good night, everybody, and take care of yourselves.